more than I do.
Yeah, I like blackberry. I would say blue is like the bottom of like my berry list.
No, man. Blueberry's the top of my berry.
No! It's got to be like, I can't eat them on their own. They got to be like mixed up in some sort of like
2 blueberries
fruit
and
salad.
1 raspberry is like God's gift to man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you have some sort of like common berries, raspberries, strawberries, like, yeah, I'll fucking wolf them down. But blueberries on their own are ass.
Man, I don't agree. I don't agree. But what I do want to do, they are better with other things.
Yeah.
So you take and you shove the blueberry in it, and then you eat another one.
It's the ultimate berry.
All
right, man. Go ahead.
Well, my high school's mascot was a cranberry superberry. Have we had that conversation?
No. Your high school mascot was a berry?
A cranberry, and it was a superberry. So it really had like arms and legs and a cape.
Why?
Because it's awesome.
Is it though?
Not really.
I would say, looking back on it now, like, yeah, sure, but like, I don't know if I want to be a high school kid and be like, yeah, we're the superberries.
Why we weren't very good at sports.
Yeah, it's just immediately emasculating.
Oh, I like it.
Anyway, Data 1. We finally made it. Our last goals episode yesterday. Last week was kind of like the last week. This we're just going to kind of give it the old wrap up. I'll go through the goals that I wrote. You can kind of help me, fine tune them, tweak them, change the wording, however you see fit. And, it might either be a short episode or we can kind of just meander along and see where the night takes us and whatever happens.
I guess what happened.
All right, so like I said, last time we left off, we pretty much, this is our, I think, 5th episode focusing on like breaking down, your core values, what you hold most dear to you, how you want to, get rid of the toxic, the self-limiting, ideas, stereotypes that you have about yourself, and then rework them, reword them, and then bring them into designing your own goals based off of those core values that we then, have previously found. And then, designing goals, to venture off into the future in a direction that now you are positive about, happy with, and, productive with. So, having said that, anything you want to add, or you want me to just dive right in?
Dive in, man.
All right,
yeah.
So I wrote down 10 that could be like done within, we kind of set that goal of 12, 15-ish months. And then I had like one bigger one that would probably be like a little bit longer, but we'll call it like our stretch goal. So my goals, and I'll just go right through them. I am making enough money off my YouTube and podcasts to allow Kristen to quit her job. I am speaking with influential people in the fitness industry on a weekly basis. I have a newer car with 4-wheel drive. I have repaid my father in full for his help with my loans. I have paid off my student loans in full. I am financially comfortable enough for a child. I have... let me try that again. I have 10,000 YouTube subscribers. I have a full garage gym. I am able to go on any vacation that I want, where, when I please. And then we'll call it the stretch goal, is I'm living in a home that I was able to pay for in a check.
I like it.
Cool.
So, 1, 4, shit. Read number 4 again.
I have repaid my father in full.
Yeah. Okay. Do you mind reading them all again? Because there's some stuff I want to clean up with them.
Yeah, do you want me to just go one by one? You can say good or...
Yeah, go one by one.
Number one,
Yep.
I am making enough money off my YouTube channel and podcast to allow Kristen to quit her job.
Okay. We're going to leave that one be for now. We're going to come back to that one later.
Sure.
Go to the next one.
I am speaking with influential people in the fitness industry on a weekly basis via the podcast YouTube channel.
Beautiful.
Okay. I have a newer car with 4-wheel drive.
Okay. So that one we want to change that a little bit. You don't have to change that one necessarily, but it's very vague.
Vague. So here's if I can maybe justify it, not justify it, explain it, whatever. I'm not a person, I don't really give a fuck what kind of car I drive.
Right.
So to me, I just want to get rid of my Sonata with 200,000 miles and get a newer car with 4-wheel drive. That's really all I want.
So then this is how I would word it, right?
Okay.
Because that one's still kind of so the way to break that one down is then your thing is I just don't give a fuck about cars. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. But I drive a newer car. It has that I don't give a fuck to it.
Sure.
The way you say it. So you don't want, because if you don't give a fuck, then you're not going to work.
Then it's not a goal. Yeah,
okay. Right? So it doesn't make sense. So the way I would word that one is I drive a 4-wheel drive vehicle, or I own a 4-wheel drive car, or I have a 4-wheel drive car.
Got it.
So the wording, it matters, right? The vibration of this stuff matters. So that's awesome. Number 3. Now 2 and 3 are now.
I own a 4-wheel drive vehicle.
Perfect. Because it legit doesn't matter to you, and that's fine.
Yeah. It's not about the specific type of car. It's just I want what I deem a necessity. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Next one is I've repaid my father in full.
Okay. Go past that one. We're going to come back to that one.
I've paid off my student loans.
Okay.
I am financially comfortable to have a child.
Okay.
I have 10,000 YouTube subscribers.
I love that one. That one's great.
Okay. I have a full garage gym.
That one's awesome.
I am able to go on vacation when/where I please.
Okay.
Seem less sold on that one.
Yeah. I think we can clean it up, but that's all right. Go ahead to then 10, right?
Yeah, so the big one is I'm living in a house that I paid for in a single check.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you have a lot about finances. So to me, it tells me there's some vibration we need to clean up about finances. I was in the same place. It's the same thing. So your 4 and 5 are both loan related. Okay. So they don't need to be separate goals, right? They can be condensed into one, because all we're doing here is we are programming our subconscious that we are achieving this thing that we're going for. So I should have had you send me these so that I could literally look at them. All right, so 4 and 5 are going to be combined.
That's what we're doing here, so I think that's actually good. Yeah.
And we'll work on that separately. Tell me 6 and 7 again.
I am financially comfortable to have a child.
That's 6.
Yes.
Okay. And then 7 is what? 7's awesome.
Yeah, I have 10,000 YouTube subscribers.
Yeah. 9 is and then 10's the house. What was 9?
9 is I'm able to go on vacation where I want.
Okay. So the house. This is good. This is the stuff. This is what I like. This is where it gets tricky, right? Because it's we need to figure out how to word these things. So I'm going to give you how I word mine and the reasons why I word mine this way, and then we'll go there, right? So I have a decent amount of then, let's say, financial things I want to accomplish. I write, I am financially free, which brings ease to my life. Because to me, one of my core values is ease and simplicity, right? Kind of under the same thing. I value easy, simplicity, living. Like, I don't want to be stressed out all the time. I want to be stressed in the way for growth, not the opposite way, right?
Yeah,
To me, it can be used for both, but whatever. So I want finances to be linked and represented with ease. The more finances I have, the more ease comes into my life. So I write, I am financially free. Now, the reason I personally don't write, I am debt free, is because that then makes debt a bad thing. And we're talking general. I know you didn't use the word debt here. So I'm just talking general to people. I think a lot of people associate debt with negativity, right? Mm-hmm. Well, if I wasn't in debt, I wouldn't be a doctor right now. A lot of people, if they aren't in debt, they don't have the home they're in. Or if you're not in debt, you don't have the business you're in, because you can leverage that debt to position yourself higher in life, right?
Sure.
You have to, or whatever. I just didn't want to have that associated with me. So I am debt free. Christy writes that, right? Christy writes, I am debt free, because she views it a different way than I do. Mm-hmm. So again, here we're looking at how things matter. So for me, I think your finances and your loans should be something like, because I think debt free is a big thing to you, because why would you want to buy a house and be debt all cash if you don't want to be debt free, right? So for you, I am debt free might be your goal, and then that eliminates 4 and 5, and that gives you room for another goal. Okay. Right? So that's kind of the thing. I write, I am financially free, which brings ease to my life. Or you can write, I am financially free, because in I am financially free, if whatever that means to you, that can be paying a house cash or buying a car cash, or, whatever that is. Right. So that kind of will change 4 and 5. So, make a note to rework 4 and 5, and that's going to give you another goal. Okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does.
So that's there. And then the same way I am financially free links to your number 6, which is about your child. Right?
Yeah.
So I am financially free covers that also. You see?
Yep.
Because if you're financially free, you can have a kid. So we're going to kind of not lump that in there, but it's important, right?
Yeah.
And, then a good thing you can do here is, if it's important to you to keep that one, let's just say it is, right? Say that's something that someone's like, look, I want whatever that is. Like, there's a couple ways to do this. And this is what's the cool part about, right? I said we probably wouldn't do an hour today, and we're going to end up doing an hour today just because of this, right? Probably, yeah. But let's say that what someone anchors to is they're like, oh my God, I really want to have a kid, right? Like that's super important to me. That is a massive value in my life. I want to be a parent. That's what this is. Well, I have these debts. Well, now your goal is not necessarily, it can be to be debt free, or it can be financially free to have a child, but whatever it is, you can use that as your driving force, and that can be your goal, right?
Sure.
I'm financially ready to have a child. Well, then what you do is you take that and you break it down and go, what does that look like? How much money do I need to have a month? What do I need to be bringing in? How quickly do I need to pay these debts off? Do I need to pay the debts off? Because if I'm bringing in $20,000 a month and I have this much debt, I can have a kid sooner than I thought, right? Instead of waiting 9 months to let that, or 10 months, let that build up to 200,000 and then write all my checks off. You see, so you can come up with that baseline that we talked about before for those goals. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's the same thing. The thing I would look at with your home is, you need to get more specific with number 10 in the aspect of, what is that going to cost you? Because if you can be more specific of, like, I purchased my home for $350,000 cash, right? Like, that's more specific than I own a house that I paid for with a check. Because, well, you and I can get online right now and I can find you a house in Detroit you can afford. I mean, but realistically, so your subconscious, you see, it matters how you speak to it, because your subconscious is like, well, we can buy a house. Yeah. We can go find one for $40 in Detroit right now. So you want to be more specific with that if that's important to you, that you pay for it in cash like that.
Okay.
So be more specific with that number and what you think that number is going to be, because all these things matter because you're going to write these every single day. And then, so that takes care of 10. Now we have 9. 9 was the vacation. Read that one to me again.
I'm able to go on vacation where and when I please.
So that's a great one for your values. So that one's super important to you. So again, I am financially free. Is that
kind
right?
Of encompasses,
that encompasses that. But what I would say to make that more specific, because I don't actually think you should get rid of that one, because I think that one's more important to you than you actually think, because all of your values are very much in that one. Is I would word that one with just a little bit more specific. Like so for instance, and again, you'll have to come up with this kind of on your own, but because I don't want to just give you that, but like mine is Christy and I, have a sexy and fun staycation once a month.
Sure.
Right? It's very specific. Like that, like we once a month, we're going to go do this within a certain reasonable area within like an hour and have a staycation and you know what I mean? And do that. So I understand that the when and where you please is like awesome.
Yeah.
Right? But I think that the financial freedom one you're going to write is going to encompass that part.
Mm-hmm.
So then build the vacation. Be like, we go on vacation 4 times a year or 6 times a year. Right? Or like whatever that is. And that can include your ski trips. We go on vacation 8 times a year, right? And they're big or small or whatever. But that's how I would build that one in. It's shorter. It's not quite as long. It's more broad, but yet specific to like, hey, we go on 8 vacations a year. And you'll be able to look back and be like, holy shit, we went on 8 vacations this year. Yeah. Look, if you're going on 8 vacations, you pretty much went whenever you wanted.
And I see what you're doing. So you're taking the like financial freedom, or I'm not ruled by my debt, or however I end up wording it. That becomes not necessarily, not that it's vague, but it's almost like an overarching theme. And then I'm able to get more specific with the, I take 6, 7, 8 vacations a year. I have my 4-wheel drive car. I have like my first child, that kind of thing. So I don't have to like keep overstating, like I'm paying off this. I'm financially comfortable enough to do this. I'm able to go on vacation. It's all encompassed in the one, and then I can get more specific.
100%.
Got it.
And so this is actually a good point, because tying into the house and everything. So I had someone reach out to me this week, and they were telling me kind of their goals. And one of the goals was I live in a $300,000 house. And I was like, all right, this feels, it felt to me like that wasn't actually the goal, right? And so I was like, all right, now for some people that might matter. So I was like, all right, does the value of your house matter to you? Or does financial freedom matter to you? Because if the value of your house does matter to you, right, if that's a thing that you currently in this stage of your life hold on to, that's okay. Like don't hide from that. That's fine. Be more of who you are, right? But I had a feeling that wasn't it, right? And so it was, all right, well, you want the financial freedom to buy a $300,000 house. Well, it's like, cool. What if you actually didn't want a $300,000 house? What if the ideal house you wanted was $220,000? Or what if the ideal house was $500,000? Like, sure, you actually want the financial freedom to buy whatever house that is you want. So again, I am financially free, goal. Then subset, another goal. Goal 2 is build your house. Where's it at? What's it look like? Is it on the ocean? Is it on the intercoastal? Is it up in the mountains? Is it a cabin? I don't like whatever that is, and be like, I own a beautiful mountain home in the Blue Ridge Mountains with an amazing back view from my porch. Whatever, right?
Yeah,
whatever that is, right? So then those are 2 different goals. If you're financially free, you can get that. And who knows? Maybe you get a ridiculous deal and you get a $300,000 house for $80,000. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you don't want to necessarily attach yourself to that if it's not actually part of like who you are. So that's awesome.
Yeah, so don't necessarily get super specific if the actual specific doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like the value of the house doesn't. Yeah, I know that definitely didn't come out very like fluent. So like what you're saying is like the actual value of the house didn't matter to that particular person. It's just that's the number that he subconsciously subscribed to the house that he wanted, which could have been, as you said, it could have been $100,000, it could have been $400,000. He just envisioned $300,000, but in his head he has this picture of the specific house. And if you
too. Forget about the financial part, right? You got to clean up that work around the finances, which is awesome.
Sure.
All right. So now let's see. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1. Tell me number 1 again.
It probably again ties in, but I'm making enough money off my YouTube and podcasts to allow Kristen to quit her job.
Correct. Does she want to quit her job?
I have no idea, but I'm giving her the option.
Right. Find that out. This may be a whole other podcast.
Sure.
Christy and I went through this about like how I wanted to create this life of like, hey, you don't ever have to work, which actually created more stress and anxiety. Wants the work, right? Like
So I guess here's the thing. Then I'm not like that is not my goal for her. My goal is to give her the option.
All right. So again, if you're financially free, she has the option to not work, right?
That's true.
So, and I wouldn't limit that. Like that number 1, I don't think I would limit that to, like I'm making enough YouTube podcasts, right? Like, again, that's where it's like I'm financially free. Like, you and I have other things going on in like together and apart. And we both know that those things are going to start trickling in. And it's going to be awesome, right? Multiple revenue streams from here and there. Don't limit it to just those 2 things. So maybe that one's in the financial freedom one, right? And maybe what you do is when you're writing that one, you feel like this is what I would do. I would write, I am financially free, which brings ease to my life. And then while I'm writing that one, maybe I take a minute and I think about those things. And I'm like, wow, Kristen doesn't have to work. We just bought a house with a check. Envision writing your dad the check, right? Or if that's a very important one, it's like, I paid my dad I wrote my dad a check for $40,000, right? Like whatever that, like you can keep it on there if it's a very important one. Like that's completely okay.
Yeah.
But be specific with it. Be specific with the number, and envision yourself writing that check then. So that makes sense. So you actually have a couple where you can come up with some more goals that I think are going to be pretty cool because you're going to break out of that realm of like all of these need to be linked to then that finances. Because I already got that financial goal, right? So kind of think on that. And then tell me number 2 again, because I wrote it down and put a big square around it. I want to know why.
I want to know why. I'm speaking with influential people in the fitness industry on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I love that one. Because that's kind of the one that you finally didn't link to just finances.
Yeah.
Right? Like that one's awesome. Awesome. I love that one. So then what you're going to want to do is, and I lost track. I got so much jibber jabber down here on this paper. Scratching them all out. I knew we have to go back and re-listen to this. But let's say you have 2 or 3 that now you have free to write, okay? Because
probably more now, but yeah.
Yeah. So, but this is great because now you're going to stretch your mind. What more can I accomplish in the next 12 months? But of those 4 or 5 that you have that are going to be there, which one, if you know them, if you don't know them, we'll walk through it. But which one, if you accomplished it tomorrow, would make all of the other ones fall into place? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, that would be if I'm taking the ones that I wrote down, it would be the first one, making enough money off my YouTube and podcast, or essentially revenue streams.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so what you're going to want to do is that's kind of the driving force, which that's why it's not like I want to get rid of that one, but I want to kind of reword that one to where it's, I'm going to have to kind of think about that. And maybe at the very beginning of the next episode, we'll touch on that one. Just for like 3 or 4 minutes. Because it's important because that's going to become the one that you orient everything around. Like, if that's happening, everything else you just told me is happening, right? So we want to make sure we get that one right, but we want to do it in a way where it's not holding us against that, right? Like, so, and then coming up with ways to make it happen. I hope that makes sense.
It does, and I'm kind of thinking, like, the more you talk, the more I'm starting to think, because I've always came back to, like, my ultimate goal. Like, if I had to pick, like, one limitless ultimate goal, it's that my time is my own. And it always comes back to, like, my time is my most important thing to me. Yeah. So the more you keep talking, the more you're kind of explaining how to, like, group a couple of these together, or not necessarily group them together, but find a more encompassing goal that frees up, goals 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm thinking maybe rewording it in the sense that, because I don't want to just take what you just said, but I like a lot of what you just said, the I'm financially free, and you can help me out here, I'm just kind of spitballing. It's the I'm financially stable to where my time is my own. Like, that's kind of the direction I'm trying to head.
Beautiful. That's it. That's your goal. That's yours. Right there. I'm financially stable to where my time is my own. Boom. That was badass. I might steal that.
All right. There it is.
Yep. That's awesome. So
see, folks, that's how we work it through.
This is why this stuff is so important to work through, which is why you and I will be creating.
Because then that one goal that I just said, that I just wrote down, knocks off, like, I need to redo this because that knocks off like 8 of them.
Yep.
So again, and that's why we're doing this, right? You essentially wrote down, out of my 10, probably 7 or 8 that are generally the same kind of theme,
worded different.
We reword it, retool it, come up with something else. Now I have 1, and then I have now I have like 8 more that I have to do. But then that's great, because now I get to revisit the values, and then explore other avenues to where I'm not so, as you said, financially focused. Because I think that was a big thing,
Huge.
I think I'm definitely not the only one. I think a lot of people will agree. Like,
I am. I mean, I
don't think most people want to be rich just for the sake of being like a rich prick. I think you want to be rich because it gives you the options to do what you want with your time. And I think deep down, most people believe that their time is valuable. Why wouldn't you? It's your time. It's your life. It's limited.
Right.
So like, why wouldn't you want to be able to be in the situation where you can do with what your time, what you will?
Yep. I love it.
Awesome.
Dude, awesome. It's awesome. But there's some cool ones on there too. Like the one about
I know you like the talking with the influential people.
Talking with influential people, the number of people you have on your Instagram or podcast, like those are awesome, right? That's like those are fuck yeah, dude. Like those are, like, I love that because it's like I really love the talking with influential people one because it took you out of that mind space of like, and we've had this conversation sidebar before, like having that thing and working towards that thing that you're like, fuck it, I don't care if I get paid, I just love this, right? Like that's awesome. And that's how I would imagine you, and I know I felt about sports for the longest time, right? Until like the real world mattered and I realized that mom and dad weren't going to buy my groceries for the rest of my life. But like, there was that thing. It was like, dude, oh my God, I did this for free. Like I did do it for free.
Yeah, I paid.
Dude, that's awesome. This is awesome. So I think at the beginning of the next episode, we need to definitely like listen to the 10 again.
Yeah, I'll rattle them off, and then we'll dive into the next topic because I think we're ready to move on.
We definitely are. We definitely are. But I think that it's important for people to hear this because I think a lot of people are going to go back and look at it. A good rule is like for other people, did you take those 3 or 4 areas that we talk about, like business, finances, health and fitness and family, and is there a couple for each or isn't there or whatever that is, right? And so again, just because you're not financially free, or not, that's not right. Cancel. Just because you're writing now ones that are all about your, or one that'll encompass financial freedom along with time, doesn't mean you don't put one on there for vacation for you guys. Like that one needs to be on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just different, you know? Yeah.
Agreed.
I don't really, I mean, this was awesome.
Yeah, man.
So
no,
basically, we're not going to dive more into this after this. We're going to hear his 10 next week and go on to something else. But basically, what I want you to do is ask yourself, one of these things, if I accomplished it, would allow me the opportunity or put me in the best position to accomplish all other 9 of these things, right? And your answer is not, I am financially free. No shit, if you were financially free, you'd have all the other ones. But what got you financially free? Like,
sure.
I don't know. Like, just throw it out there. Like, I have no idea what YouTube subscribers means. Like, I don't know how people make money off that. It doesn't make sense. But, like, whatever. If you got a promotion at work and your goal is, like, I'm a vice president of my company, right? If that's your goal, I'm the vice president of my company, and that comes with a paycheck of $350,000, I bet that goal accomplishes 8 of your other ones. Yeah. That becomes the main goal, right? That's number 1. That's the first one you write every single day, right? And that's what you do. And so then you figure out how to then take that goal and you break it down 10, 5, 8 things, whatever, on how you can start to make progress immediately, right now, every day, so that you're taking one step closer to that goal. And the other ones will fall into place, right? So that makes sense. And then the next thing we do every single day, I don't know what anybody's morning routine is, but your morning routine needs to involve your goals. And I want you to do it first thing in the morning. Get up, get a yellow legal pad. They're like $2.50. Sit down, and you're going to write your goals, and you're going to write them from memory, 1 through 10. That one that we just talked about, like, or whatever. I'm the CEO or I'm the vice president of my company.
Yep.
Or the company. That's number 1. And then you write the next 2 through 10, and you do it by memory, right? You write as many as you can by memory. If you have to kind of look at the first day or 2, okay. But what you're going to see is the wording may change slightly each day. That's okay, because the general theme's there, right? And that's what we want.
And it's also, your goals might evolve a little bit as you evolve or as you achieve something, and, your views change. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. The brain's starting to then rework and integrate this. And you want to write it every day, first thing of the day, because that's the first thing your mind and your reticular activating system is going to start to orient itself to. So you want to start your day, boom, here's my goals. You want to double up, do them at the end of the day before you go to bed. It'll be amazing. Unbelievable. This is a massively, massively, massively important part of the goals. They have to be written by hand, not on the computer, every single day. And like you said, then the goals may change, right? Like you may have one on there that is what it is. And first off, you're going to start to get the goals. So then you add new ones. I mean, that's the fun part. Like, holy shit, this works. Like, so now I'm going to start writing these things down. I really encourage everybody at first, though, again, I want you to pick goals that are like 80 to 90% achievable at first. Because you need to understand this is possible. Don't make all of your goals something that's like 3, 4, 5 years down the road that you're gonna have to grind for like crazy, right? That's for later. Like, let's stick to 12 months. What goals can you accomplish in 12 months?
Build up a little momentum.
Yeah, I lost 15 pounds. I bought myself, $10,000 worth of new clothes, like whatever that is, right? I bought myself shoes or a purse or like, whatever that is, like. Those goals first for the 12 months, and then start fucking banging them bitches out. Then you start to go, holy shit, I got this. I got the momentum, and you build it up. So I think that's awesome. I think we kind of covered everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Write them every day. And then one thing that I recommend people do, but they're probably not going to, go through them and remember it's the work that sucks. Remember, it's that one podcast we did where we wrote the shit, like we wrote the stuff and we flipped the script. When you write the goal, it doesn't hurt to, write one of the goals 10 times, right? I am financially free, which brings ease to my life. I write it 10 times. Maybe I get the number 7 and I'm like, I'm not financially free. Well, hold the fuck on. That's a negative feeling. That's a negative thought. Let me flip that. Well, I just went to, Whole Foods and bought whatever. Prove to yourself that you are in the process of becoming financially free. Clear that vibration. It matters. All that stuff matters.
I dig it.
This was good. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, man, this was a good one. It felt good finally getting to the end. Like, there was this whole building process. We went through the crap, went through the shit, weeded it out, reworded. It's good because I think in order to truly see the end vision and to appreciate it, you have to go through the crap. Otherwise, you don't appreciate anything. And it's the same with anything else. Like, it's you want to look like one of those guys or girls on like the fitness magazine. They didn't just wake up that way. Like, there's the crap, there's the work, there's if you're on a little enhancement, but still got to work.
But I mean, I think Michael Jordan said it. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, I want to be Michael Jordan." He's like, "No, you fucking don't." Like, you may want to be me for a day, but you don't want to be me for a year. Like, you have no idea the grind. Like, you have no idea what that takes to be him. Or did, you know what I mean, when he was doing that. Like, you don't want to be him. And I would argue to say that if you wanted to be him, you would be him. You wouldn't be wanting to. You would, because he took the steps and the actions to get there. But anyways,
and look how many people he pissed off and, destroyed relationships and blah, 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 because he didn't care what you thought or what you wanted to do. He had a goal, and if you were in his way, he was going to crush you.
I fucking love that. Most people don't. That's okay.
Whatever, man. I mean, that's the mentality of greatness, man.
That's what I'm saying. But the point is you don't have to have that mentality to still achieve fucking goals and better your life, right?
Exactly. I'm not asking to be the best YouTuber on earth. I'm just saying I want to get to a place where it's funding my time, essentially.
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even know you can make money through YouTube, so that's cool.
Dude, there's like so many YouTube millionaires, it's ridiculous.
Blows my mind. Didn't even know anything.
Idiot kids who like do stupid like videos. Like, I don't understand. Good for you, kid. Good for you.
Good for you.
I just found out today. So we're back in school. So like staff is in. We're kind of setting up before the kids come in. One of my coworkers, her son started a TikTok. He's 8 years old. Has 10,000 followers. Not started TikTok. Started his own TikTok account. Whatever. He's 8 years old. Has 10,000 followers. I was just like, wait, what?
To be perfectly honest with you, someone sent me a TikTok video like 3 or 4 days ago. I didn't understand it. I'm like, what am I watching? Like, I would never get on something to like see what I saw. I was like, what is this? But anyways.
No, I mean, I don't have one either, but
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's when we were younger, there was like those short video clips. Was it like Vim or Video or Vimeo? Or do you have any idea what I'm talking about? It was like a short little clip. It's just like the next progression. It's just like,
dude, I remember getting that. So I don't know.
What are they called? Tamagotchi or whatever.
Yeah, dude. Get it too much food or whatever, and the dog would die.
It would die. You just leave it in the corner. Yeah, you would like beg your mom for one. You like play with it for like a week and then leave it in the corner. And you check on it like 6 months later and be like dying in the corner.
Dude, I loved it. I'll tell you what though, I think it's awesome. I also know that if YouTube was around when I was a kid, like Caleb and I used to literally stand on the opposite ends of his bedroom and throw metal darts at each other's backs to see if we could get them to stick. Like, we were dumb. So I'm like glad, but not glad YouTube was a thing. I don't know, but I think I had a lot.
You might have had a very different career trajectory had it been a thing.
I probably shouldn't have said that because now people are going to be like, "Oh my God, let me go do that." Kids, do not do that.
I am 100% sure that you're not the only idiot who's thought of that. So,
Hey, Tide Pods now. I guarantee you that was safer than Tide Pods.
Yeah. Why are people so dumb?
I don't. I legitimately don't know. But
shit.
I can tell you right now that if someone had told me to eat a Tide Pod, I wouldn't have done that. Like I might have thrown.
In what ways is this a good idea?
Right. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like,
I don't care how dumb I was.
Right. I agree. Well, that's one heck of a way to end goals. Maybe that's someone's goal.
Eat your Tide Pods. Yeah, I gave up the Tide Pods, man.
Oh, I love it. Awesome. All right. Well, did we finish early?
Yeah, I mean, short, sweet, to the point. I think, definitely go. So I'll definitely go back. I'll rework this. Like I said, I'm pretty much narrowing down about 6 into 1. And then, I'll rattle them off, and we'll come up with a nice new topic to hit next week. I keep saying like tomorrow, yesterday, next week. Yeah, man, awesome stuff.
I love it.
Thanks for walking me through the process. It took 5 weeks we've been doing this now, so it takes a little bit. You really got to be honest with yourself, self-reflect, look internally, and but I think at the end, it's worth it because it really kind of gives you this narrowed kind of tunnel vision of to what you really, really want. And like I said, it's to me, I don't really care, what my job is, how much money I'm making, whatever. That's to me not the important thing. The important thing is my time. So I just need to find an avenue into which I can make my time my own, and I'm not, a slave to someone else's, clock because I have to work to get money to pay for all these other things, as opposed to just being free. So yeah, man, I dig it.
It's awesome. I think the biggest thing is it took some time, but everything worth it in life takes the time.
Yeah,
if you don't do the work and you don't want to do the work, it's just not going to work. Period. And I'll tell everybody, if you want to start right now and you write 10 goals, you're not going to fucking accomplish them if you don't go do the other stuff I told you. Or you may accomplish 1 or 2 of them, but your percentage of success is fucked if you don't do the other stuff, right? And that's why everybody's like, oh, goals don't work, or vision boards don't work, or law of attraction doesn't work. No, you didn't do the work. Whoa. Because I know a lot of people that make a lot of fucking money that would disagree with you, and I promise you, you're not in their position. So do the work. The first 2 to 3 podcasts, I swear to God, right now, the first 2 or 3 podcasts are more important than anything. The values and the beliefs are more important than any of the goals. You could do just those and never write another goal and flip the script on your entire life. Also, just throwing this out there, just one last thing.
Sure.
If the people out there in the YouTubeverse don't watch Cobra Kai and you grew up with a Karate Kid, you need to go watch Cobra Kai.
You've been selling this to me for 2 days now, so I'm definitely going to check it out.
My goodness. It is the perfect.
I'm not going to lie. I wasn't really sure what to expect when I watched the trailer, but the trailer, I had watched the trailer before you had reached out to me. So I was already sold. I saw this and I was just like, oh, I didn't realize it was going to be a comedy. And 2, I was just like, I'm in. I want to watch this. And then you texted me within the day, and you're just like, dude, fucking watch it. I was just, all right.
Yeah, oh my God. Caleb's almost all the way through it too. I'm telling you, it's the perfect mix of hilarious, but subtly hilarious. With oh my God, I can't wait for next season. Oh, it's so awesome, dude. But maybe it's because I have an emotional attachment to it because I grew up watching Karate Kid. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
But it's awesome.
It was definitely made for us who watched the Karate Kid when we were 10 years old, and yeah.
Dude, they did an amazing job.
Isn't Ralph Macchio's in it, right?
Dude, they're all in it.
They're all, yeah, okay.
I mean, they're all in it.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
I'll get to that. Maybe I'll do it this weekend or something. But
you're done for, dude. You're gonna text me at midnight and be like, "Oh, I couldn't stop.
I haven't blinked in 4 hours."
Oh, it's awesome. All right. That's it. We'll wrap it up on that.
All right. I dig it. Again, thank you, man. This whole process, it's a grind. For me, you walk me through it. I think it's awesome. I think it's out there for whoever wants to give it a shot. So again, thank you. And yeah, man, let's keep this going, and I got some new stuff coming in the coming weeks.
I like it.
Bye, everybody.
All right, guys. We'll see it.